I've just always personally like people that are actually talented, that actually can write stories and that can connect. Because, you know, if you put, for example, a Little Baby, I don't know if Little Baby has enough content and enough to sell out at a Madison Square Garden by himself with no features. You know, when you see a dude like
with collaborations, yeah.
Yeah. But when you see dudes like a J. Cole that can sell out Madison Square Garden out of nowhere, no promo, no marketing, show up like alone doing a whole album with no features and then just disappear from the world. I think that's really dope. And I know that a lot of people can't do that. So again, it just goes into like what you are more gravitated toward. Yeah.
I love that. Now, you just named a couple of legends just now. So if Juanito Jones could collaborate with any other artist, who would you collaborate with and why? And the artist could be dead or alive.
I automatically always say J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah, he's like, if I ever did a feature with a major artist, that would be my first go-to. It's just part of it could be just because I'm so much of a huge fan of his music. Right. Another part of it is just because I'm really in love with the way he makes music. Another part of it is just the type of person that he seems to just be. You know, I have major respect for people that don't care about the fame. They don't care about the limelight. They don't care about the attention. They just want to make music and be out. And with a dude like J. Cole, who can drop an album once every whatever and still be so relevant and then destroy it with features and then just disappear and live his life somewhere with his wife and kids. I think that's it, a lot of respect that goes to cats like that. Another guy would be like a Kendrick Lamar, you know, like I feel like at some point in this industry, you have to realize that all of this stuff are like materialistic, superficial things that usually won't last. And like all these cars, money, all these things, they'll diminish and they usually stop having value. And it's like, really, who are you as a person and as an artist, and like what morals and values do you have? So yeah, I'm super big into that, and I'm super big into like just being different, standing out, but not standing out in a public sense, standing out like in your own way.
Oh, no, that makes a lot of sense. Now, in 2020, the world was kind of like on a standstill almost. As a music producer and an artist, how did you deal with the pandemic? Were you affected by it creatively in ways where it was so much going on? Did you feel like this was just a distraction? Did it put your music on hold? How did you deal with the pandemic?
I mean, the first thing was, I don't think it really affected me in like a negative way. I looked at the pandemic as like more of a reason to just
go hard
every day. Yeah. Or just be with my fiance all day and let's just like be at home. It's not, I've never really been that person now to like go out anyway. So like, I'd care less about that stuff. It's not like it's that deep for me. Like, oh my gosh, if I can't go out, I'm gonna die, which I think is crazy because I really don't ever think is that serious. I think a lot of people just exaggerate online and social media just because that's what they do. Yeah. I don't think I even necessarily at first, I really wasn't even focused on music. I was just like, all right, what can me and my fiance do while we're in quarantine? And it's crazy because even during COVID, we still went out and stayed in like, you know, some dope hotels and, you know, did a lot of things. You know, got engaged during COVID. And during that time, I was like, man, a lot of things had happened to me in the year of 2020. And that's where I came up with the idea for the EP.
2020.
And I took, yeah. And I took everything that happened to me in my life and just crammed it into 5 songs. And it was honestly maybe one of the best things that I did do, because I was like, man, I should write about all this stuff that's going on. And I just projected that onto the project.
Songs too. 5 fire songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, how does Juanito Jones determine which beat goes with which song? Because I do feel like there's an art to it. You can't just listen to it and just say, okay, let me Like, do you is there a formula that you use? Is it your intuition? Describe to me what that workflow looks like.
So it's interesting you brought that up. Before this project, 2020, right. I'm the type of person that I'm so low key on like releasing music. I release it very far from each other. Like the last project I released before 2020, I released in 2017. And then before that, the previous one I had released was like in 2013 or 2014. So I like really, I don't know, for some odd reason, I just space out music and then I'll just do like 2 albums per year and then wait like 2 or 3 years to pass. During the last 2 years, I was so invested in just producing for just other artists. You know, that's what I do for a living. I'm a full-time music producer. I do have the awesome opportunity, and I'm very grateful to be able to just do that for a living. And I was like, you know, I reached out to all these artists and just was in production mode. Then one day it dawned on me. I was like, man, I need to start producing for myself again and just putting things out. And then all the fire beats weren't like, no one was taking them and I was just taking those. But usually for like projects, I take the beats that I've made that are like the like most fire beats and like, or the beats that are the most thought provoking, that are like all different. And that's usually how I start even the songwriting process. It's like, once I make the beat, I just give a topic and then I just write from there. And then that's how it's chosen. Then I'm just very picky on what makes it, what doesn't make it. Then, because like producing is so easy for me. I can do that in my sleep. I could like maybe daily, I make maybe 8 to 10 beats per day. And not even throughout the course of the day, maybe like in a couple of hours. Songwriting doesn't take me long either. I can write, you know, a whole bunch of songs in a day. I think what takes me the longest is just the process of actually what's going to be on the project. And the order is also something that kills me. Like I spend too much time on like chronological order, because usually all the songs just follow each other in a sense.
Love that. I love that. Now, what is next for Juanito? I know we have an album, Grown AF. This is going to be released on all streaming platforms this December 15th. But what's next for you? Are there any up and coming projects, collaborations that we should look out for?
Yeah. So as far as that, my fiance is a singer. Her debut EP is already out, and I fully produced it. And there's a feature with both. I'm featured on her EP. We have a song on there as well. Aside from that, once December kicks in, I'm doing a whole bunch of music videos. That's another thing I'd like to actually consistently start doing. Which I'm also super picky on that. I'm like a very picky person, and I'm very like super like, I have specific people that I'm like super anal on like
your stuff.
like music videos. I've never worked with any other videographer but the person that I work with. Studios, I only go to one. Yeah, I'm like that person. I don't go anywhere else. I go to the same studio all the time. So I would like to shoot maybe a video for every single song that's on there, which is a 12-song album. And I'm already in the ways of writing another album after that. That's going to be super jazz, hip hop ish, but it's going to be more on the jazz end side of it. I feel like I should totally put out just like an all jazz inspired
project. Be so fly.
Yeah.
That'd be so fly. Now, if we want to purchase and work with you and learn more about how we can get in contact with you, where can we do so? What's the websites? What's the social medias? Let us know.
So I got rid of mostly everything but Instagram. So Instagram is the only place that you can like connect and find me. My email's on there too, so you can also email me. But my Instagram is whoisjuanito. WHOISJUANITO. If you're an artist, you can also hit me for beats on there as well. As like, I try to balance it out. As much as I post on my beats, I post my stuff or whatever I'm doing. I do sessions in the studio in terms of production sessions for projects only. My latest EP 2020 is on all major streaming platforms. And my new album, which I'm like so excited for it. I'm like, I really can't wait for this album. Yeah, and I'm not really, I mean, I'm always happy when I drop music, but I'm never as excited as I think I should be. But for this album, for some reason, I'm like really, really excited just because of the content that's in it. And I guess the amount of time that I'm taking on it. So that'll be out December 15th on all streaming platforms. And I think that's about it. I'm so like low key and like reserved and like so just like you have to dig through the crates to like figure out whatever I'm doing.
You low key and you're super, super talented. And
Thank you.
look, you see your baby done made its appearance again. Is that a boy or girl?
He's a boy.
Okay. All right, now he want to be okay. Well,
Yeah,
Juanito, it
he's
was
sure.
a pleasure. I do appreciate you for coming here. And this is your
Thank you.
Speaks, and we are out.